If you've just encountered this video, do go back to the beginning where we start with easier exercises, because now it's getting tough. But still very achievable. Let's start with our very achievable warm-up to get our muscles ready for stretching. Before you stretch, I've said it before, you always want to do a little bit of cardio to get some warmth and blood flow into the muscles so that you can do your best stretching session. Today we are going to combine the leg raises with a deep lunge. Stretch for your calves and engaging the thigh. So make sure here you try this once and you find a good position here in the back, which for me is a slight diagonal, so that you can do a well-supported position here when we actually land. And I'm going to always touch opposite foot here to opposite hand. And we're going to do 10 of these. Okay, let's start now for 1 and back. 2. Stable left leg on the floor. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's change sides. Lifting the left leg, bringing the left leg back, and right hand touches the front leg. And let's go for 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, great. Now let's do a similar variation to the side. This is best if you do actually hold on to something. So we've done these leg swings front and back in front of the body. And this time we're going to just take the knee a little bit higher, okay? So if you want to move your arm into the opposite direction here, I find that helpful as well. So let's go here in front and then to the side. So you want to create a big swing, bringing the knee as high as possible, while at the same time finding length in the hips. And this is harder work than it looks. Okay, 1 more. And then let's go to the other side. Same thing, you swing the leg in front and to your side, bringing the knee as high as possible, using the swing of the leg to make this movement bigger. And let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, great. I'm sure you're feeling these leg swings here in the hips now. Let's do 5 squats and then 1 frog stretch, holding the squat low. Hands on your hips, spine very upright, slight straddle, take the knees always over the toes, and let's squat for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Stay low. Adjust the feet if you need to. Elbows on your knees, very, very, very low squat here. Adjust the feet again so you can spider your hands over your toes, pushing the knees back with your elbows, leaning to the front with your upper body. And with 1 big in-breath, on the out-breath, come back up to standing. Now, take something you can stand on. It can be your split entry elevation or anything else. Stack of books will do. So we will use this to stand on and then fold to the front using the weight of the body here to go into a very deep hamstring stretch. So from here now, standing on your elevation. So I've got my toes hanging off the front. I find that actually helps me a lot more than having my heels hang off towards the back. Standing a little bit further front here so that your toes can wiggle. We roll down towards the floor as low as you can get. Even if you cannot touch, if you can touch the floor, that's great. If you cannot, that's also all right. If it gets too intense, put your hands on your shins. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to roll the spine to a straight position, to a flat back. Hold for 5 seconds and then fold. So from here, hands on your hips if you like, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fold, clean forward fold. Nose is pulling towards the ceiling. Release the arms once. Touch the floor if you can. One more time. Roll up. Roll up. Then straighten the spine. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clean fold. Release everything to the floor. So this time we're not going to roll, but we will lead this straight back, flat back position from the head. So we'll initiate the movement here with the head, starting from the head to straighten the spine. Hands on your hips. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and fold. Let's repeat this one more time. Hands on the floor. Start the flat back from your head towards a straight spine. And come to flat back. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And fold. Hands on the floor. Let's hold this position for 10 seconds. 10 slow seconds. 1, 2, 3. Release the head. Really try to release the spine and pour the weight of your head into the floor. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, great. Step off your elevation. And now let's come to a lunge position here on the floor. Very deep lunge. I've got my left leg in front of me, and try to slide your back knee to the back as much as possible. So from this position here, really find the depth in the hips. And then let's press the right foot into the floor, lifting the knee and engaging the thigh, and hold for 6 seconds. Lift the leg for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release. Push your right hip into the floor. I've got my left hand here on my left leg, and try to even twist the body a little bit in order to get into that deep hip stretch. Bring the hips back to a square position. Let's press the right foot into the floor and lift the back knee for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release. And find the depth of the stretch. Keep trying to lift your upper body as well, which will always increase the stretch, and make sure you're not flaring the ribs, that you really keep a minimum of core engagement so you can direct the stretch into the hips. One more time, square your hips. Push your right foot into the floor, lift the knee for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. Deep hip stretch. Great. Come out of the position gently. Swap legs. Right leg in front of you. Find a very deep lunge. Now press the left foot into the floor, lifting the right knee up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And release. Right hand here on your right knee. Twist into this position with the aim of lowering the hip as much as possible. If you can, lift your chest to increase that stretch into the hip, finding length and ease of breath. One more time. Press the back foot into the floor for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lower the knee and one more deep stretch here for the hip. Okay, great. Ease out of the stretch and meet me here on your back for resistance stretches with our scarf or elastic. So we will start with the right leg, foot flexed. And this time we'll start with the leg on the floor straight. So make sure your hips are staying as square as possible here. Let's give ourselves an extra challenge. If you want to just experiment with what that feels like if you rotate the hips to a diagonal position. So always think of the headlights of the hips if you feel like you're getting lost with the directions. Diagonal position means automatically your leg comes a bit further, squaring the hips brings that top leg back. So we will challenge ourselves and try to keep the hips square, pulling the leg towards you as far as possible. And then let's push the foot away, press into the elastic for 6 seconds, starting now, and push, 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 push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release, pull the legs closer. Do not lose the hip position. Keep re-squaring the hips. One more time. Push into the leg for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And pull towards you. Find your breath. One more time. Push away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull the leg towards you as far as you can. Keep the hips square. And ease out of the position. Bend the leg to swap legs. Left leg on top, right leg on the floor. Take a moment here to find the position of the hips. Make sure they're square. I'm sure you're feeling the stretch in that right leg now. Left leg is about to join the sensations of extreme stretch. Pull the left leg towards you as far as you can. And push away for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull the leg towards you. Keep the hips square. And push away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull the leg towards you. Keep the hips square. Find length. If this becomes unbearable, ease out of the stretch. Realign the hips in a way that allows you to find space and length. Space and length is the motto of this 10-day series. Infinite space, infinite length. One more time. Let's push into the scarf for 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And pull towards you as far as you can, maintaining your breath. Feel your hips expanding without jamming anything. Okay. Release, then bend the leg to gently come out of the position. Let's find our way to the split entry position. I encourage you now to do this without any elevation, just with the support of your hands on the floor. Let's start with the right leg. So here find your starting position, moving back and front. And now this time we're going to slide to the split. And at the end of it, we will attempt to rotate the hips a little bit away from a square position into a more diagonal position, finding that last bit of space, hopefully getting you almost down to the floor. So let's start sliding the front leg to the front, back leg back. So identify that position here, which is the hips relatively square, and then open the hips towards the diagonal. Keep the chest lifted. Let's hold for 20 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Ease out of the stretch. Super duper. Swap legs. I really very much hope that you felt how far that can take you with this prep and this amount of preparation and this setup. So one more time here from your lunge position, move back and front. And then let's slide into the split again until you feel like you've reached your maximum, and then open the hips a little bit into a diagonal. Go that last little bit further down. Try to lift the chest nonetheless for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. Thank you very much. Ease out of this stretch and come to sitting on your heels again. Put your arms in a diagonal behind you. I know this can be a challenging position, but let's stay here, trying to press the hips a little bit up towards the ceiling, gently holding this position. If this is very hard for your knees, just ease out and just stay in this position. And come back to sitting. Readjust. And this time, not in a compact position, but in an upright position, we will move the hips to the floor, towards the floor as much as possible, maybe even touching the floor. And just turn around so you can see me better. Come back to center and allow the hips to spill off to the left, touching the floor or almost touching the floor. And come back to center. Fantastic. Hey, I almost glossed over the fact that we almost did a split. You're almost there. Let me know how this is going for you. I'm really super curious how this journey went for you and what the challenges were, what your moments of joy were, and also maybe what surprised you. For me, it's really very interesting to hear what you make from the things that I show you here. Thank you very much for practicing with me. If you think that you know someone who might enjoy this series, please recommend it to them. You can support me on Patreon. Link is in the description box below so that I can continue making these videos for you. Thank you for practicing with me and see you in the next video.